In this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best Galaxy Opal cards right now in NBA 2K23 My Team. Let me know in the comment section down below who are some of your guys' favorite Galaxy Opal cards to be using right now in the game. And of course, let me know what you guys would change about my top 10. But coming in at my number 10 spot is going to be Galaxy Opal Vince Carter. I still do think he's a top 10 Opal card. He is so elite at the shooting guard position, being 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. I think he's still one of the more underrated cards in the game. Like, yes, he's not over Billy Knight, T-Mac, and some other shooting guards we'll talk about here in a second, but he is still so good for the price he goes for, and I still think can be a top 3 shooting guard in the game if you know how to use his jump shot, his dribble 6, and he does have obviously some crazy good dunking animations and is one of the better rim runs in the game. I wish he did maybe have the normal leaner, but the Pro 2 really isn't that bad, especially on a card like Vince Carter, so his leaner's fine. I wish his defense was maybe a tad bit better, but all around is a very solid defender, and then offensively is going to be one of the better offensive cards in my team. But coming in at my number 9 spot, I just slightly think better. I think Ray Allen is just slightly better than a guy like Vince Carter. But if you want to say Vince is better than Ray, I think that's a very close debate in my opinion. I think Ray is probably a little bit better offensively with his jump shot on very quick timing. Now you can make an argument even Vince still does have the better jump shot, but I think it's pretty clear that Ray Allen does have the better SIGs with the Steve Francis size up, the Kobe Bryant escape, and the MJ dribble style. Normal leaner on Ray is a pretty big difference as well in my opinion. I think the normal leaner is a lot better, and then going to the rim, that's obviously still going to go to Vince, but I just think offensively Ray's got a little bit more fire to him, at least at the shooting guard spot, and I think overall is going to be the 9th best Opal. Talking about another shooting guard, a lot of shooting guards on this list now that I'm thinking about it, but Scottie Pippen I think is probably actually better at small forward just because of his defense and the fact that he's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, and he's still one of the better on-ball defenders in the game. Like, you can put this card on ball on a T-Mac, on a LaMelo, on those like really good offensive point guards and shooting guards, and he can play really good defense and give you some very good lockdown defense on those top offensive cards in the game. He's got a 98 steal, 98 lateral quickness, 98 perimeter, also having a 91 interior defense and a 97 block as well. He's got that Kawhi Leonard motion style, which if you guys don't know is the Kawhi Leonard defensive stance, and there's only a couple cards in the game that have it have the motion style and the defensive stance besides Kawhi Leonard, and that's Ray Allen, KG, and this Scottie Pippen card. So he's gonna be able to play some really good defense, has still one of the better jump shots in the game in the catch and shoot. He's got the normal leaner and some very decent dribble 6 as well. So all around, I think for a Galaxy Opal card, Scottie Pippen gonna be the 8th best in the game. Coming in at my number 7 spot, this might seem a little bit low, and it definitely can be low. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but I'm putting Ben Simmons at the number 7 spot. I still think he's a really good point guard. He's 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan, but I think we're starting to notice that you can sag off Ben Simmons, and he is a little bit of a liability on the offensive end. Yes, he's still so good defensively though. Obviously going to be one of the better defenders in the game because he's 6'11" at that point guard spot, and I think you probably could have him maybe a little bit higher on my list, but I don't think he's top 5, but maybe you could have him number 6. But in my opinion, I think a guy like Jonathan Isaac is better overall as a card. Now that's a very close debate. You guys can let me know, do you think Ben Simmons should be a little bit higher? I have Ben at 7 and Jonathan Isaac at 6. I just think Isaac is such an elite card. He's got a 98 block, 95 interior defense, 95 steal, 95 perimeter, tons and tons of good Hall of Fame defensive badges. I think Jonathan Isaac all around just does more than Ben Simmons. Like, I know Ben Simmons is 6'11" at the point guard position, but Jonathan Isaac, he pretty much does everything better than Ben Simmons on the court. He's a better defender than Ben. He's better going to the basket. He's got a way better jump shot. He's probably even more athletic than Ben. His animations are better. So there's nothing Ben Simmons does better than Jonathan Isaac, except the fact that he's 6'11" at the point guard spot, which is obviously super tall compared to 6'11" at small forward. It's still a very tall small forward. Like, 6'11" is taller than most small forwards in the game. Like, he's probably the tallest small forward in the game besides, you know, like a Giannis or another guy that's 6'11". So he's going to be really tall at a certain position as well. But like I said, I have Simmons at 7 and Jonathan Isaac at 6. Now, a very underrated card, and it is hard for a lot of people to tell at my number 5 spot like how good he really is, but I'm gonna go with Billy Knight. I think what I've heard from Billy Knight, I haven't personally used him that much, but from what I've heard with this Billy Knight card, I do think he might be better than a guy like Jonathan Isaac and a guy like Ben Simmons as well. I've heard a lot of people say he's the 2nd best shooting guard in the game, and I don't think Ben Simmons is the 2nd best point guard, and I don't think Jonathan Isaac is the 2nd best small forward. So yeah, I said that right. Yeah, I don't think Ben Simmons is a top 2 point guard, and I don't think Jonathan Isaac is a top 2 small forward. So Billy Knight being the 2nd best shooting guard in the game, I just think he might be slightly better than those 2 cards because he feels basically just like a worse T-Mac. Now, I don't think he's as good as T-Mac, and no way is he even close to T-Mac in that sense, but he kind of just is like a worse version of T-Mac in the sense that he's got a really good jump shot, amazing dribble sigs, he's got that normal leaner, he's got very good all-around stats. Like, I think he's a pretty underrated card in my opinion. I do think he's going to be the 5th best Galaxy Opal. Coming in, I'm at number 4 spot. I think maybe you could put KG, or you could English. I think you maybe could put Billy Knight over Kevin Garnett. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think Billy Knight is probably better than KG, because if you look at the power forward position, I think obviously D-Rob and Kristaps are better at the 4 than a guy like KG, and then even Dino is a close debate as well. So I kind of want to switch it up, and I want to go KG at the 5. And maybe now that I'm even thinking about it, is Jonathan Isaac better than Kevin Garnett? This list is actually very tough, because I think these 4 cards right here are all so close. Like, you could really put Ben Simmons at 4 and Billy Knight at 7, or you could put, like, you know, Jonathan Isaac at 4, you know, KG at 7. Like, you can really flip-flop these cards however you guys want to. I think I'm gonna move Billy Knight up though into that number 4 spot. I think I'm gonna go KG or Jonathan Isaac at 5. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I do think Jonathan Isaac is the 3rd best small forward, and KG is probably also the 3rd best power forward as well. So it's a very close debate. You guys can let me know between Billy Knight, Kevin Garnett, Jonathan Isaac, and Ben Simmons. Where would you guys rank them? You know, who would you have over each other? But I think I'll probably leave it as this. I think KG is slightly better than Jonathan Isaac and Ben Simmons, and I'm gonna have Billy Knight at the number 4 spot. But breaking into my number 3 spot is gonna be Galaxy Opal Magic Johnson. I still think he's the 2nd best or the best point guard in the game. I think he's slightly better than a guy like Ben Simmons, and just a little bit better than Billy Knight. I still think he's one of the best point guards in the game. Yes, he doesn't have the greatest jump shot. It is on quick timing, but it's not an amazing jump shot. He does have some pretty good sigs, and it's Magic Johnson. We know what this card can do on the court. Play really good defense. He's got that super glitchy behind the back, and you'll see Magic Johnson in pretty much every single competitive game, and that just goes to show how good this Magic card really is. But coming in at my number 2 spot is going to be Mike Bantam. I think he's the best small forward in my team right now. He's 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan, and he's easily going to be at the number 2 spot. We obviously know who's going to be at the number 1 spot, but I think Mike Bantam is a really strong 2. I think he's just a little bit better than a guy like Magic, Billy Knight, and these other really good Opal cards. But I think Mike Bantam is just so elite at small forward. Like, he's basically the perfect card. He's got the Kyle Kuzma base, one of the best bases, maybe even the best base in the game, especially for a small forward. Like, in the catch and shoot, this card never misses. He's got the normal leaner, very good dribble sigs. His stats are very well rounded. I mean, he's basically a dark matter, and especially if you have the Billy Knight duo, if you're lucky enough to get the 2 new cards and you put them as a dynamic duo, Billy Knight, Mike Bantam, he just becomes so much better, getting those 15 extra Hall of Fame badges. But overall, I think Mike Bantam is probably the 2nd best Opal card. And then coming in at my number 1 spot, the most obvious selection of the top 10, the easiest choice and the easiest, you know, decision to make is going to be putting Yao Ming at the number 1 spot. Debatably still the best card in the game. I think there's a real argument between him and Tracy McGrady as the best card in the game, but 1,000,000% the best Galaxy Opal. He's just the most broken card in my team history, probably since he came out in January the 20th. Is crazy. Like, that was over a month and I think a half ago now, around that time period. Like, that is just unreal for a card to have came out in January. That probably could have came out in April and still been the best center in the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's just so broken. He's easily the best Galaxy Opal card. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 10 Opal list? I will say, I'm still very confused with like Billy Knight, Kevin Garnett, Jonathan Isaac, and Ben Simmons. I think these 4 cards are very close. Like, I think Magic 3 is pretty fair. I think Mike Bantam 2 is very good. You know, Yao Ming at 1 is obvious. And then I think like Pippen, Ray Allen, and Vince are, you know, pretty close as well. But these 4 in the middle here, I honestly don't really know how to rank them. But I'll leave it like that, and you guys can let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.